Today on the CTV News at 5.
But the health care, I think, is very good.
New census numbers show there are more seniors in Canada than ever before. Plus, a Lethbridge man charged in a bank robbery and drunk driving incident just hours apart appears in court. And how a new computer software program is improving the stride of local athletes.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. The latest federal census figures are out, and Lethbridge is getting both older and younger. According to the 2011 census, both the number of children and people over 65 continue to grow in the city. Children 14 and under make up 16.5% of the city's population, while seniors make up 15.2%. The working class, those aged 15 to 64, account for 68% of the population. We're all getting older. You don't need the new census to tell you that, but there is an interesting trend that hasn't been seen in decades. CTV's Arinda Alman explains.
Baby Michael is only 5 months old, but mom Natalia already has the future in mind.
Thinking about daycare, which is kind of the next phase of our life, and then I guess education and what school he's going to go to.
It's the stuff all new parents think about and plan for. But now new census numbers show the rush may be on to get your kids in. In the last 5 years, the population of kids under the age of 4 has grown by 11%. It's the highest it's been in 50 years. The last time was the end of the baby boom. This economics professor says the numbers make sense. As the baby boomer population enters its 60s, their kids are having kids of their own.
That means as we go forward in the next 5 or so years, we'll be closing colleges and universities and opening kindergartens.
This mother of 2 says getting her kids into rec programs and preschool is already tough.
It's crazy trying to get through on the day of to get them into swimming or t-ball or any of that kind of stuff, and we haven't been able to.
And as far as grandma and grandpa babysitting, well, new parents may be out of luck there too. New census figures show the working age population is getting older, with a record number still working by the age of 64.
$3, please.
Like convenience store owner Hannah, the 60-year-old still works 6 days a week and half days on Sunday.
From the morning, I leave home at 7:30, and maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock.
And 62-year-old George,
tomatoes, lettuce, I make a tzatziki sauce.
Who after 37 years working double shifts, says he's now cut down to 3 days a week. But all that is far into the future for little Anna and Michael.
It's nice if people are having kids, and I'm glad that he's going to have a lot of peers.
And if these latest numbers are any indication, expect those peers to continue to multiply in the coming years.
Well, seniors now represent, as we said, 15.2% of the population in Lethbridge. That's a ratio higher than the national average. The census was taken at a time when the first baby boomers turned 65. That number is expected to continue to climb as more boomers head for retirement. The federal census showed that 12,710 people in Lethbridge were aged 65 or older, and by the time the next census is taken in 2016, Stats Canada expects Canada to be home to as many seniors as children, which they say will force governments to make difficult choices, such as how funding should be allocated to health care versus education. Seniors we spoke to say they're satisfied with the level of health care they're currently receiving, but say it could always be better.
I had a very serious illness last winter. I was in the hospital for 3 months. I didn't have to pay a cent for it. Came home, had home care and physio, everything. So I mean, how much more than that can the province do? There may be other things that they don't do, but the health care, I think, is very good.
Yes, I think we could get a little more help with some of our medications and things like that we have to put out quite a bit of money on our own if we want something a little bit better.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't have anything to say anything about.
Lethbridge's total population now sits at 106,000. Little unstable today, Dory, but shaping up very nicely for the next several days.
Yeah, we are looking at that sunshine to return, Jackie, and the temperatures are going to be very nice as well. Have an area of high pressure that's trying to develop in southern Alberta. Had a developing low this afternoon, and that's why the cloud cover and the spotty showers were visiting us as well today. But it looks like the area of high pressure is going to dominate as we head into the weekend. I'll give you more details coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thanks, Dory. Well, police are investigating a second stabbing in the city in less than 48 hours. This one happened in the 1600 block of Scenic Heights South early this morning. The victim told police he was involved in an altercation with a younger man and was slashed with a knife. The victim was treated for non-life-threatening lacerations. Police continue to investigate. They say, though, that the victim and suspect knew each other. Meanwhile, the man believed to be responsible for a South Side stabbing made his first court appearance this afternoon. Lethbridge Regional Police were called to the 2500 block of 18th Avenue South Sunday. The victim, a 22-year-old man, is being treated at Lethbridge Hospital for multiple stab wounds. Blood Tribe Police took 23-year-old Monty Justin Bigthroat into custody yesterday. He's now facing assault and weapons charges. A Lethbridge man charged in a crime spree yesterday made his first court appearance today as well. 49-year-old Brady Elder is facing a very long list of charges in connection with both a bank robbery and other incidents Monday. Several of the charges stem from a bank robbery in West Lethbridge around 11 o'clock yesterday morning. A man wearing a disguise claimed he had a weapon and then fled in a truck after being given some money. Bank staff managed to take down the license plate. Then about 2 hours later, that same vehicle was involved in a minor collision in downtown Lethbridge. Elder was arrested at the scene and faces a number of charges, including robbery, wearing a disguise, and impaired driving. He's also been charged with stealing gas from a service station in Lethbridge earlier Monday morning. Meanwhile, police are crediting the public with helping to solve some of the recent crimes.
You know, we've had some very good fortune reporting of late, you know, with the double homicide, with the bank robbery, with multiple different occurrences. And it's just really good fortune, good public intervention, good media reporting, and just some really good solid legwork from the police service.
And a young Airdrie family is dead after what appears to be a murder-suicide. It happened yesterday afternoon northwest of St. Walburg, Saskatchewan, the town where the couple has extended family. 26-year-old Darren Worms, his 23-year-old wife Haley, and their 2-year-old son Caden were found dead in a ditch. A small rifle was recovered from the scene. Police won't say that it was a murder-suicide, but they do not believe anyone else was involved in the deaths. Police say they had dealt with the family before, and the family had been referred to other social agencies. CP rail workers moved part of their picket line from the city's industrial park to downtown Lethbridge today. A handful of strikers carried signs outside the office of Lethbridge MP Jim Hillier. They say the threat of federal government's back-to-work legislation has derailed any meaningful contract negotiations. The government is using its majority to limit debate, setting in motion a series of overnight votes that will see the bill passed by tomorrow morning. Rail workers say they expect Hillier to vote in favor of the legislation.
The crews will go back, the employees will go back to work and just carry on and hope for the best with the arbitrator. You know, we're not happy with the decision. Lisa Ray keeps saying, well, it's affecting the economy. What strike doesn't affect the economy? As far as we're concerned, the company shouldn't have backed away from the table. But as soon as they heard that there was back-to-work legislation proposed, they stopped bargaining.
Hillier wasn't in his office today. He is in Ottawa for tonight's vote. Well, the city will be taking steps this summer to reduce traffic congestion on Whoop-Up Drive in West Lethbridge. Council has approved a $4.1 million project to improve access and improve traffic flow at the two high schools and Crossings Branch Library. The work also includes extension of Whoop-Up Drive past Coalbanks Gate West, new sanitary and sewer lines, and underground services to the site where the future Twin Arena and new curling rink will be built. Work is to get underway this summer. Lethbridge Regional Police officers put down their radar guns and picked up barbecue utensils today to raise money and awareness for the Special Olympics. The charity barbecue was held in the underground parking area at police headquarters. The money they raised will be used to put on the 8th annual bike ride from Lethbridge to Edmonton next month, and that event will raise even more money for the Special Olympics. Police officers and staff from across southwestern Alberta will be riding 500 kilometers during the 20-hour relay. They say the enthusiasm of the athletes is contagious and makes it all worthwhile.
After my first event, I was hooked. Once you see the athletes and how appreciative they are, that's when it really caught me. They just live life so large, and they're so appreciative of what we do so that they can participate in sport. That's why I believe all the officers do it.
The law enforcement relay will start June 8th at the Lethbridge Courthouse. Participants will ride all night and arrive in Edmonton the next day. If you're having trouble making a connection with your horse when riding them, you may want to see what this inspirational speaker has to say. That's on this week's Farm TV.
Michael Richardson has been involved with horses since his youth. When a Jeep rollover accident in 1986 left him a paraplegic, Michael learned he needed to change everything about the way he worked with horses. Michael helps the riders start to feel their horse in a different way. He presents it in a way of developing the horse's mind, as opposed to just reacting.
You know, as an ambulatory person, unfortunately to say, I really wasn't as interested in what the horses thought. It was just, you know, this is the way we have to do it, we're going to get it done. My perspective now is to say, well, how can I work with horses safely? How can I work with horses in such a way that we're building on that relationship through the minds of not only myself, but the horse, and we're bringing these entities together.
Michael truly enjoys what he does.
There you go, there you go, all right, so sweet, Lover up. And the crowd's going crazy.
It's absolutely a continuous journey of opportunities, of enlightenment, and definitely education and insight.
Farm TV is brought to you by DA Building Systems.
Thank you, Mike LeBlanc. Coming up, Dory says a lot of 20s in the forecast for the weather. Here, though, are the day's markets.